I'm Miss Bicker.
And I'm Miss Babe.
And this is the third of our Teaching and Learning series of films that today is going to centre on the really important concept of modelling and how it can be used to improve your classroom practice. Research shows that modelling is an effective tool for pupils. This is because it allows pupils to actively see their teacher's thought process. It's so important cognitively that people see the link between the thought process and the actual ideas that they then get down on paper.
Modelling is a really important concept to use as a modern classroom teacher. First and foremost, it shows pupils how to formulate their answers and really gives them an insight as to what is going on in your head as a classroom teacher. To model, you allow pupils to show what a grade 9 level answer looks like. They can then mould that to their own practice within the classroom. The first way to use modelling is to address misconceptions, and common misconceptions at that. So rather than actually talking through the pupils what they need to avoid and what they need to do, you can model what a bad answer would look like. Then you can ask pupils to correct it with you, which therefore will allow pupils to avoid using those mistakes within their work. The second teaching and learning tip with modelling is the I do, we do, you do model. So as a class, I would pre-present, for example, a Peel paragraph and show you what a model answer would look like. The second step of the I do, we do, you do feedback is the we do section. Using your class and using maybe a visualiser or even perhaps just your computer, you can model an answer together. This will allow pupils to co-create something with yourself, with your guidance, and as a classroom teacher, you can question them to check their understanding as well, a great retrieval technique. And the final section is the you do model. So using your model answer, plus the one that you've done as a class together, the pupils are then expected to write their own exam answer. And finally, in your classroom, there might be a visualiser. Visualisers are great techniques to be able for pupils to see the work that you are producing. Visualisers are one of the best tools you can use to model.
Even just as humans, many of our behaviours are influenced just by the observation of those around us, their behaviours, their values and their norms. And there is nothing more empowering for students to be able to see the teacher performing the task that is expected of them. This month's key department for our spotlight is science, and Mr. Robertson is going to show us all he knows about using modelling in the classroom.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Robertson from Science, teaches biology. We've got a couple of experiments set up, one using pondweed. So we're looking at the effectiveness of changing light intensity with pondweed. I personally set it up as a demonstration, step by step, show everything that we're doing. The students then follow it just like they would with every other experiment, and then we have a sequencing activity where we have like a 1 to 10, particularly useful for the SEND kids, where you label from the start, so plug the lamp in, secondly fill up the boiling tube with water, add the pondweed, etc, etc. We mix it up, they cut it out and then they stick it in order. So look at a concept like DNA. So deoxyribonucleic acid is in every single cell in our bodies in the nucleus. And what we do is those kids will never have an opportunity to see DNA. It's submicroscopic. We create an activity where we know it's a double helix structure. We know it contains 4 bases, adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. And we label a key, use loads of different types of sweets. So we use jelly babies, use 4 different colours, and A and T go together. So you could have adenine being green, thymine being red, and then you put them together with a cocktail stick. Have 2 strands coming all the way down, licorice strands, and then they create that. Modelling is it's a fundamental concept within science because it allows us to follow any experiment with ease and allows the children to see things that they would not normally see in everyday life. My top tip for science and modelling would be to listen to your teacher in school and take your idea of doing experiments in school and take it home. There are many experiments you can try at home on TikTok or YouTube, such as Safely Please, such as putting Mentos into Coca-Cola, or there's one you can use changing the properties of a solid and liquid using corn flour and water.